Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Njenga Njeru. Now, I want to address a certain issue that has become very prominent on the show because sometimes, it is not every other time we are trying to bring men and women on board because there are issues that we need to face, others we need to educate, others we need to even praise, others to condemn, others, we live in a society that is very unpredictable. Today, things will be happening. On the other hand, you will be looking at a very serious discrepancy. I told you a discrepancy is the difference between what you expected and what actually happens. So, one of the things that I have noted on the show is that most people have fears to come out publicly, or fears to maybe say they are looking for a match. One, if you are single and genuinely single, for instance, if you are widowed, if you've never been married, if you're divorced, if you're separated for a long time, all those things, including separation, and you do not have legal grounds for marriage, you can always look for a partner, okay? And one of the reasons why this show was set up was to give people an edge of advantage, because when you want to be treated, you go to a hospital, to get better, you go to a medical facility so that you can be healed, you go to a school so that you can be taught, you go to a, what do I call it, you go to a psychiatrist if your head is not good. You see professionals depending on the problem you want to be solved, okay? And one of the problems we are solving here is lack of marriage, because we are bringing people who are like-minded on the Njenga Njeru YouTube show, and these people, most of them are single. So what happens is that we give them a platform. You're brought on the show, and hundreds or thousands of singles will be calling you, others will be sending you messages, and now you're on the receiving end, now you're on the choosing end. You can choose, oh, this one is good, this one is not. And one thing I noted before I started this show is that most people get married out of convenience. I mean, you get married because of the people you meet on a daily basis. If you meet somebody and you're working, let's assume you are employed, for instance, and you do not have that freedom of travel, you do not have the freedom. Maybe you're working 6 days out of 7 in a week, and probably you've been working there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and the trend continues. If you find somebody who is probably a regular client, somebody whom you interact with, a colleague, in most cases, that is the person you are likely to get married to. Or rather, if you happen to be a member of a certain church and there is this partner you meet maybe in fellowships, during Sunday services, chances are very high a union can be formed. And probably that is not the best person you would have gotten. Okay, so what happens? Most people get married out of convenience. When you bring a show like this, there are people who do not get time to date. For instance, somebody is working 6 days out of 7 in a week, and on Sunday they are going to church. Others, they are working 5 days out of 7, and on Saturday they are going to church. Maybe they belong to the SDA church, and so time for dating becomes limited. Others are working 7 to 7. There are people working 7 to 9. There are even people who work 7 to 11, if you've seen these people who work in supermarkets. And there are people who work for long hours, whether they're in the country or outside the country. So the fear I have realized is that we post somebody on the show, and relatives, family, and friends are the first people to condemn that person. It is not good. It is not good for you to condemn. Sometimes you see your relative looking for a match on the show, and you know that this is a show where singles are paired for the sole sake of marriage. Okay, when you realize that your family member, your friend, it is not the time to tag them along. You're trying to shame them. No, let them be. Sometimes you even pretend you have not seen them. Okay, sometimes you turn a blind eye, you let them be, because this is not a dirty site. This is not for hookups, if you know what that means. This is for pairing men and women for the sake of marriage. And that is why transparency goes hand in hand to ensure that people are given the edge of advantage. This is one of the most vibrant, most transparent shows. Imagine, I do not have absolute control over the people who call you. I do not have any control whatsoever about the people who will contact you. So you are not guided on whom to choose. You are the one on the choosing end. I am not in your inbox. That is why even somebody told me that they are seriously double dating, and those men are equally good, and she's receiving favors from both after I posted her. Again, I do not have the contact of that man. I do not have the contact of those men. So there is nothing I can control, giving you the bigger responsibility to choose. Because this one, if you've noted, we rarely bring even college kids. The people who dominate this show are adults, people who are even trying marriage for the second time, people who have children, people who have been on the streets for a long time, people who know how the battlefield operates, people who know how to caution themselves from scammers and cons. That is why I told you, even when you begin a relationship, avoid sending money. People can use you. Okay, these are strangers you're meeting. Just because I posted somebody does not mean I have the full testimony of that person. I am serving them, hoping that you are having the bigger responsibility to ensure you cannot be scammed, you cannot be conned. And that's why when we have to give caution, we give it to help people make the right decisions. Are we together? So I do not want to hear people getting shamed because they came on this show. This is a show that heals souls. Okay, this is a show that helps people to overcome loneliness. You can have money, you can have gold and silver. The Bible says, if you're not happy, uh, a stillbirth is better off. These are the words of the Bible, written by the wise King Solomon. So, in as much as looking for a match is concerned, please let people be. And if you do not have the confidence, there are even of avenues where we try sometimes to match people. If you've seen that maybe somebody is holding a very senior position and they are saying, I do not want to be on the show live, you can bring me on audio. You've seen doctors, you've seen politicians, you've seen nurses, you've seen teachers, you've seen pastors, and there are others who have the confidence. Okay, people can never be the same. I am not trying to encourage you to come live on the show. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is that when you make a decision to look for a match, make sure that you stand by that decision. Okay, we have even pulled down so many posts where people came on the show, and when they were pointed out by family and friends, then they pretend they don't even know us, telling us, please pull that post. I even told my family that I don't know who Njenga Njeru is. I don't know that show. And they were on the show in the first place. But it's like they are fearing the friends and family members they have. If the family members cannot make you feel comfortable being who you want to be, you should reconsider who you call friends and family. Because I believe if somebody is a family member, so long as the decision you want to make is legal, morally upright, okay, that decision does not violate values, ethics, and morals of a society, they should help you stand by that decision. If that decision helps you to heal, if that decision helps you to overcome the challenges of life. You see, sometimes life is very personal, and this goes to people who are married. Most married people are very proud. And I'm saying this because I have noted the people who troll singles so much are married people, because they think they have it all. But sometimes when you're on the other end, when you're single, you need more encouragement. You need to be encouraged. Sometimes you need somebody. You don't even need material support. You do not need financial support. You do not need the wealth or the money. You don't need financial backing. What you need actually is a shoulder. Sorry, is a shoulder to lean on. Is somebody who you can ask, how was your day? Is somebody you can relate? Is somebody you can ask how your day was and how it's been? Somebody you want to share your burdens with. Sometimes you talk with certain people and then you feel like the burden has been taken off your shoulder. Okay, so moving forward, I want you to be decent. I want people to have some decorum. I want you to, when sometimes you don't have to tag that person. You see, some people are hoping, oh, let me be posted for that 24 hours. I hope nobody knows me will see me. No, I mean, I hope nobody who knows me will see me on the show. And then all of a sudden, wewe umekuja ushamtag pale, umemuita, and the person has to pretend like they don't know us, they don't know whether we exist. Please let us respect other people's decision. Let us give people time. There is nothing dirty, there is nothing desperate about looking for a match. If you're seriously and sincerely single, look for a partner. Life is too short. Okay, if they cannot marry you, don't let them dictate who can marry you. Are we together? It is good to take counsel, but again, sometimes you ask yourself, is this person trying to demonize the very fact that I'm looking for a match? I am single, I've never been married, maybe you're widowed, maybe you're separated, you're divorced, you've never been married, such things. And those are the questions we attempt to answer when we bring the guest on the show. Are we together? So I am hoping that we can give people an easy time so that they can get matches. And if you have a match, maybe let the other person also enjoy. If you do not, maybe you can wait for your time. If this is not your formula, probably somebody somewhere. There are so many ways through which you can get a match. And we said you can get matches from everywhere. Are we together? So let us love one another so that even moving forward, people can feel confident and comfortable without judging them. At bottom, I said you cannot judge people and love them at the same time. You have to choose one. And on this show, we do not discriminate against people. We choose to love them for who they are. Are we together? God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook at Njenga Njeru so that you'll be getting these updates in real time. God bless you. Bye bye.